Right. I have to restart my thing. Oh, bugged. Okay, what are you doing? YouTube. I can see it. Okay, fine. I swear it wasn't this hard last time. I swear I'm not gonna practice. I swear I know how to use technology. Oh. Actually, I'm pretty old. Never mind. Oh, well. We start with our sound test, of course, because who don't? Who doesn't? Who don't? Oh, so much work to do. That's so hard to do. Okay. I should stop yapping to myself. Bit of tact. Okay. Let's turn up this so I can do essentials. So this, hey Wade, this, and this one. I can hear myself. Okay. Okay, the first one was good, so I'll leave it at the first one. Hey Wade, welcome in. Thank you for the like. I saw that earlier. I saw you come in. I was like, no, I wanted to fix it up before you came in. Thank you for the like and welcome in. I'm gonna mute this so it doesn't overlap. Oh, that was fun. Oh, it was a chore, but it was fun. Oh, hello, other person who's coming to lurk. Welcome in. How are you going, though? How's your day going? You can hear? I can hear you. You can hear me? That's good. If you can't hear me at any point, just let me know, and I can fix it up. I just do sound checks at the beginning anyway, in case I have the mic muted, which has happened in one of my recordings that I did. I did the entire 2 hours muted, and I had to go back 2 hours and do a re-recording. And I was so annoyed with myself. Anyway, that's why I do the sound checks. Let's load, because I believe I saved. Look back at this one. This is from the demo. And we're not doing too well in this one. That doesn't look like where I left off. Maybe I'll just do continue. Okay. It doesn't always save, which is annoying me. Oh, where am I? I'm at this tiny little house. I think I am. Oh dear. Right into reading. Oh no. The bottle no. Flip. Hold on, I'll get it. The bottle removes its seal seamlessly by itself. The wax floats in the air briefly, then lands on the table gently. Without a word, she pours a thick liquid into the cup with her only hand. Oh yeah, she's got one arm. But doesn't offer you the drink just yet. I'm trying to learn more about the peninsula. A tavern seems like a fair shot. I'm looking for this person. I don't think I should ask anybody except the people up in the white masks. I'll mute. Oh, am I muted? I can hear myself. Can you hear me speak? Or did you just come up to the bit when I was changing voices? You might have come up to the bit where I was changing voices. Okay, I think that's what's going on here. Because I take a 5-second break to swap between the reading voice and my own voice, because the reading voice is lower. So I take like a 5-second or 2-second break so I can switch. That's probably what you thought I was muted for. Sorry about that. I will try to switch a little bit quicker. Also, thank you for the 3rd like. I don't know who did that. It was one of the souls that's watching. Let me know if I'm still muted for you though, Wade. I shouldn't be, I can hear myself. I've got you like hold it up. Can you help it? I can see you, just my eye level is set. Okay, let's keep going. So I'm not gonna ask for Astron because I believe he's up at the White Marshes, so they probably know something about him. I mean, he's shouted every now and then. I stay on the road most of the days. I hope to trade a fair bit in the coming days. Like to see if I can move some coin behind. I'm hoping to find work. If nothing else, I've always carried a message for you. I'm hoping to find work. Let's be of service. Otherwise, that one. I had to get here sooner or later. Hope trade is a bit far, but in the coming days I want to see what I can get here, leave behind some coin. I was hoping to find some work. If nothing else, I can always carry a message for you. Well, like how it like reaches the bottom of the page. Actually, it's gone even further than that. Ah, see, I go too far ahead. Oh dear. I'm stealing somebody else's voice. I go too far ahead. That's my issue. Ah, okay, that makes more sense. Thank you for clarifying. Everything's fine? Nice. Oh, good. Her grin makes you think of a hungry wolf. To me, you sound like a mercenary. You sound like a mercenary, then a RoadWarden. Oh, you sound more like a mercenary than a RoadWarden. But we speak in the same tongue. You will find some work around here, she chuckles. Her knuckles just by... She cracks her knuckles just by clenching her fist, then relaxes her hands and observes the fingers. I have a small job for you, love, and the boys outside want to hunt. Ask them about it if you want to join them. Just be sure you have something to defend yourself with. She looks at your chest. I see your jacket is quite fine. It should be enough. But you can always fix it with a glade rocks or in howlers. See, she approves. She nods approvingly. But I haven't seen any shields by your saddle. Better visit Glades Rocks and buy yourself one. She leans back, relaxed and confident. How now, go ahead, enjoy your drink. I think that's however now, instead of how. You raise your glass to your nose. You smell the flowers, yeast and herbs. The liquid is gold on the edges, but it resembles red amber in the center. It is thick as a herbal medical. You take a look at your companion, seeking a hint of what's expected of you. In some places people gulp down their mead, but your vessel allows you to appreciate the aurora or odor. One of them. Okay. The huge keeper smiles and takes a sip. You follow her lead, allowing the drink to pass your lips. It's warm, hiding none of its subtleties. Drinking mead is never never-ending conflict between holding the taste in your mouth and saving yourself from the tormenting sweetness of honey. Yet the flavors of flower are just as pleasant, too difficult to capture just yet. Foggy leans with an elbow resting on the table. Well, for me, it's a lazy day. At least the rain spares us so nicely, holding off till the evenings. What's the story behind this place? Because you couldn't be more than a few years old. What brought you to North? Looks like somebody who would spend their lives cleaning tables. I thought it said you look like somebody who spent your life cleaning tables. Like, that's an insult. Let's change the subject. You seem to be into some expensive drinks. Complimenting, asking, what's the story behind this place? Can't be more than a few years old. Let's ask this one. It was our third summer under the roof of Foggy Lake, but the palisade is older. Used to be a camping spot for the bird catchers from the creek, and there were fish there that didn't swim into our streams. When we were but newcomers in the north, these lands were hard to bend, but the beast got used to us with time. A malicious curls in her eyes. She observes the meat in a cup. Okay, I said the wrong word. Yeah, that's fine. Every year or so we add something new. The rocks for a campfire, some stools, a fence, a woodshed, a boat. At one point we brought the lumber from Howitt marshes and built a cabin like this one at the eastern roads. More folk started resting here, even traders from Gale Rock and Old Pegasus. Plenty fine spot for an inn, Her smile is warm. I'm building my home for nothing. You could say, and not for the first time. How about you? Does any of it sound tempting, building a home? Not really. I like traveling. All these words getting back into it is just like, fun. That's a dream, a place away from Halavan. Somewhere where I can rest after days without an aching back. My home is wherever I find kind people. That feels passive-aggressive. That's something I'd ask myself after I save some dragon bones. It sounds like I'm broke, which I am. So I do appreciate myself recognizing that I am broke. That is a dream in Tams. I haven't thought about it clearly enough. Although I don't know what this person was doing beforehand. I guess they do want to go home and just relax. Or maybe they don't really have a house. Maybe they were... I don't know what their story is. I'm kind of learning it and building it as I go. This feels passive-aggressive. Am I calling them kind or not? That's the issue. Let's go the joking route. That's something I could ask myself after I've saved some dragon bones. I used to be like that, waiting and with decisions until I had no other options. But when nights are colder, it is good to think you're getting closer to your goals. To something you can name. Her eyes turn absent. How do you stay safe from the beast? You're completely open from the lake. What brings you north? What brings you north? Because we just asked and she said she came north. So let's go on to that. Oh my word. Okay. I picked this one. Let's go. Once you burn enough dead friends and relatives, clean tables start to look plenty tempting. She leans forward and takes another look at her bottle, sealing it with an approving nod. My ma and pa were big and strong. One time they saw me sitting on this kid, twisting his arm, so they started to teach me. Staff duels, running, lifting barrels and rocks. Thankfully, the army chieftain said I wasn't disciplined enough. She rubbed the scar on her forehead. So I did a lot of things, escorting some merchants, joining a group of adventurers, hunting for bounties, guarding a village temple. The last memory makes her voice gloomy. Not all of these things makes me proud of myself. She smells the mead in her cup, but doesn't take a sip. I moved here only when I lost my arm. The folks were fleeing the invasion. I took my lamb, a casket of dragons, and joined a more organized group. Arm or not, I still have a fierce punch. That's the wrong one. I still have a fierce punch. She let out a pleased grunt. I was worth keeping around. Her voice couldn't hide that she was delighted to carry on with her tale. It's all good. Now that the years are catching up with me, and even more so with my back, I need to build myself a decent shelter. I crave no adventures, but I'm happy to hear stories from other restless souls. In the meantime, I'll practice this little trick. She points at the cauldron in the middle of the room, starts to make circles with her finger. The ladle mimics the movements, stirring the pot for another minute or two. That's also good for my back. Oh, she's got magic. Let's go. That's pretty good. So I guess your name is Foggy. This is Foggy Lake. Is the tavern named after you or just after the lake? I nodded towards the spot. She probably won't tell me. It sounds personal. What's going to happen next? Will you build a real wall? Why not? Then grow my connection in the villages, buy more hard drinks, buy another shelter, a cabin, and even hire a private warden for these roads. You know, for my guests. She sips from her cup, looking at you. But it's all in the distant future. We at Creeks need to take care of the eastern roads, clean it for travellers without trade. All I have is the locals. And they don't even use dragon bones. How do you care, dear? Are you planning to stay around? At least for a few more years. Hope to spend a long time in Halvern. I hope to stay on the roads. I kind of want to explore, even though I'm like dying every single time I explore. I have like 1 health right now. Even though I'm dying, it's fine. I would love to explore more. I hope to stay on the roads and visit other parts of Dragon Woods. Is that so? All the tales I've heard make me glad I now have a place of my own. The trails grow greener and thornier, and the villages turn empty. The cities lose their reach. She leans forward and stares into your eyes. Into your lungs, no, into your eyes. If that's really your plan, it won't end well for you. What do you do without roads? So you can move things with your thoughts. Being disturbed by a moth. It's all good. It's gone now. Nope, it's back again. How do you stay safe from beasts? You're completely open from the lake. Quick legs, love. A brief yet thunderous laugh makes you flinch. We don't leave any food outside, but our cauldron smells. Every now and then something scary shows up. We lock ourselves in here for days if we have to. Our windows keep an eye on the yard, better than leaving the hamlet to the goblins. You mentioned that having no wall from the lake is quite a risk. She nods in agreement and takes another sip. We don't bring children or old folk around, but this part of the peninsula is not so bad, at least in the sunlight. Not much food growing or running around unless you live on fish and birds. And the folks of the creek are great hunters, the greatest around. But isn't there a harbour in the city as well? How do you keep the creatures away? They usually stay in the water waiting for trash or drunkards to fall off the bridge. Every now and then something large shows up between the boats and enters the streets. People learn to run away. What was I saying the thing was? No. I would. Hey Dingo, welcome in. So it's the safety pin profile you have. That's very cute. I didn't just bang something. What pretty lungs you have. I doubt you can't see people's lungs, so... Oh well. Okay, every now and then something big. That sounds like it's like a disaster zone. What was I calling it before? I was saying it was okay. Like it was, you know, it's a city. It's actually the flying beasts that bother us. Well, I don't know. Oh, it's for the protest. All good. I wish you guys good luck with that. They mostly stay in the water waiting for drunkards or trash to fall off a bridge. Let's go with that one. Chilling. One day we had such things here during our first summer. 2 adventurers got drunk and went to watch the lake after dark. We all hide if anything shows up, they were saying. In the morning the water was red, and their rags were covering the rocks. Any beast you hunt for? Any beast you hunt for? Oh, I hunt for nothing, she smirks. Not since I lost my arm, and the boys outside are not made for it either. They have no drive to fight, you see, and grew up to be wimps. They sometimes club down a hare, but we're all about foraging and bear traps now. The folks in the creek do the real hunting, she adds after a pause. Runners, malfins, rats, and sometimes a buffalo or siren. We have no soil for fields, so game meat is all we have left. She stretches out, getting even taller. Do you hunt often? Sometimes I set up traps, that's true. I had a fish trap that I have to go check on at some point. I have to go check that fish trap again. It's got food in it. Dear dear. Sometimes I set up traps so don't risk facing him. That's hardly a hunt, isn't it? She leans forward, chuckling. Picking up a dead bird from a loop is not the same as pushing away a warm corpse. That was just pinning you down to the ground. She looks towards the open window shutters. Not the same, but probably smarter. A friend of mine was a real huntress for a year or so. Can I ask about your friend? No? Okay. Your name is Foggy and this lake is Foggy Lake. Is the tavern named after you or the lake? The lake has no name. She moves her cup away and leans forward. Raising her elbow on the table, her voice is playful, warm. But there will be stories about this place, believe me. and about passing by the lake, whilst getting to Forgies. I may not be a dragon slayer or a holy woman, but one way or another my soul will live on in my name, tied to these walls. She looks at you in silence, then bursts into laughter. You can swear she's making the jar shake. I'm plenty fine being vain. We all want to be remembered, I think. My pa used to say memories of our lives live in the blood of our children. But guess what? Children die as well. All my brothers and sisters gone. She paused. But there's no sadness in her eyes. Stories have a better reach, eh? You can tell each other about strangers who lived centuries ago. There's magic in that. Okay, now we've gone stories. I'm going to move on to ask her about her arm to see if the talking lightened that up. She leans back, moving her shoulder and chest up and down as if she's having a soundless chuckle. Not one I'm going to share with a newcomer, dear. Stay alive until next autumn and I'll open up a cask of cold cider and tell you quite a tale. It has treason, treasure, monsters, dark spells, but I'm way too sober for it now. She grabs her cup and winks, turning into an awkward blink. Let's change the topic. You heard anything about the necromancers in the north? Oh, there's a lot of talking, guys. She rubs her chin. I don't like what they're doing one bit, but I can't blame them. The folk at the White Marshes struggle, and they don't know how to protect their kids. Elders, ornats, their priests, she cracks her shoulder. A quiet man, but preaches like a Zolt. Always looks like he's on the verge of crying. She opens the door with a wave of her hand, letting in some fresh air, and she looks at the lake. They used to trade in lumber, those from the marshes, until Howler's Den started selling their own trees for a better price. The trade to the marshes died, and so came the hunger. She looked at you with an unclear grimace on her lips. You may judge them, but at least their preacher gives them hope, even if it's tied to black magic. Looking for work, any interesting rumors? Looking for work because I need money and health. She grins. I somehow doubt you're here to forage for me, love, but not that I have any room for another soul. Let me think. She runs her eye over the shelves and the trophies, but it's the rocks surrounding the fireplace that catch her attention. The folks at the old Pagus are weirdly quiet. They were supposed to drop 2 wagons of rocks at my place. Could you check on them? Just find out if they're fine. You mentioned the payment. It won't take much work for a rider. You can get there and back in less than a day. Just ride west from here until the road takes you south to the crossroad. Turn west again and you'll find the village. I'll give you, say, a dragon bone. You say that's not much, but she waves you off. A RoadWarden should get familiar with all the villages anyway, right? Just do it when you have a chance, and I'll have more coins for you once you've proven you can be more trusted with a simpler task. Okay, that's fair. I honestly don't mind. I think I'm all good with this is your kind of lady. But that's fair. She is incredibly strong-willed. I mean, she has to be to live out in a place like this. So, she makes it comfortable for herself. She's very good. Can you tell me about old Pagus? Let's ask that. So, first we need to memorize. West, south, west. Okay, done. Can you tell me about Old Haggis? It may be one of the oldest villages in the north, but even if it's not, it's safe with a strong wall and safe roads. Their crops are weak, but for generations now they've been cutting stone and building from other tribes in exchange for supplies. Some time ago they tied themselves to the monks, and now they don't look kindly on those who don't follow the order of truce. She pauses. She's twisting her lips to one side and choosing her words carefully. But they are plenty fine folks, true believers, something lost in the city, not ones to deal in slave trading or pillaging. I'll let you know if I learn of anything. She smiles. And what else, dear? Time for me to go. I feel like she's hiding something. Perhaps everybody in this place is hiding something. I'm pretty sure the only two truthful people were the soldiers I met at the beginning. It's 7 hours until dusk. I'm pretty much dying. How do I get health again? I forgot. Is it like when I'm fully fed, I think I get health? How much stuff do I have? What is my doing? I have like 3 supplies. I have enough money. I have an old blanket. Oh yeah, I found this. This is Reginald, the horse. Wade named him. I got fish trap, list of fish traps that you've set up. Save. Let's actually save, because I've not been saving this entire time. It's all good. I go wash myself. Can I wash myself? Or no? Will I get bitten by a fish when I wash myself? I think that changed, so thank you for the 4th like. I think that changed. That, or I've just forgotten that it has. Everybody's hiding something though, because the soldiers at the front were asking about the old RoadWarden beforehand, who disappeared, and they warned not to ask about him, so I've been not asking anybody about him. I might ask the people at the White Marshes, because he was friendly with them, so they might know something about it. They also might know something about the tree as well. She's hiding a casket of... Oh my word, I don't like this thing, it's covering the words. She's hiding a casket of... Okay. Well, she was hiding pelts upstairs, so I wouldn't put it past her to have like a cellar full of cider kind of like underneath the house, because it obviously, it's like, I don't know, it's obviously got a basement there, unless it's staying off the ground because it's cold. Okay. You enter the bridge and it moves to its edge You enter the bridge and move to its edge. Somewhere beneath you notice a glimmer. Hey you! Stand back and run. Without even thinking, you lean towards the yard. A long teeth-filled mouth breaks through the water surface, splashing it in every direction. It bites the empty place where you were just standing, while the front limbs, thick-scaled and ending with claws, as long as your fingers land on the wood. Once the siren's yellow eyes notice that you're outside of its reach, its No. Stab it. Okay. It slides into the lake. We skipped that word. I'm not gonna go through a whole section of me trying to say another word. You hear laughter coming from the yard. The large forager who was wearing leather was running with help, but now standing with hands on his sides, chuckling without rest. The man in black fur, on the other hand, looks at you with worry. You see a hand kept beneath his cloak, as if he was reaching for something. What are you doing, eh? The lake isn't for outsiders. I gasp for air and thank them for the warning. I'll stay away, you don't worry. He nods and gestures for his companion to cut it. They both move towards the gate. Okay, I think I can travel. That's how I get out of places. Which direction is to the, Nope, that breaks my brain a little bit. This is north, south, west-ish. So we're supposed to go west, and then we go up to another thing. I could try to see what's up this way. Let's go here. You follow the road spreading between the hills and lonely trees until you reach a solid wooden bridge, not older than a generation. You ride uphill, but Reginald manages to keep up. The dark wood in the south are below a gentle humming creek. While the forest on your right was trimmed by locals, it's a peaceful journey, at least for some time. After a few minutes, you spot a group of wolves feasting on a fallen furry beast, maybe a waist. One of them looks towards you. Nope. Can I go a different way? No. I ride a bit faster. Dear oh dear, I'm gonna die again. I didn't die, that's great. I'm like, I only have 1 health and I'm barely standing. The road fades into an old tunnel. There's no sign of mining, no signposts, no human voices. The ceiling is supported by wooden beams, but the light only reaches so far. The chilling wind bends the few lonely trees, while the shrubs oppose the weather patiently. The side path leading west is somewhat maintained. You find both boot prints and cart tracks. It leads higher into the mountains. I tether Reginald to the tree and then I enter the tunnel. Where can I travel? This is the old tunnel. An arch carved into a tall mountain. As long as this place remains unexplored, you'll have to take a detour. You're currently here. Okay, so I have to explore it to travel through it. Smokes. I'm going to ban YouTube for that. There we go. So some fish. Yeah. And most of the things in this world can apparently hurt you. It's great. Though I haven't met any spiders yet. Your mount observes the area anxiously, so you stay for a moment to give it a good scratch under its neck and some confidence. Soundly rummaging, you unpack all the things you need to make a new simple torch, a log, some old ramp, and some old rugs and a bit of oil. You grab your tinderbox and sit on the ground for a couple of minutes, preparing the flint and linen char cloth. Decades ago, before the southern invasion, people used fire starters made of thick steel. but all you have is a cube-like piece of harsh pyrite. It's pyrite again! We've met again! There's pyrite in this world. Nice. And you shout out to the sand rock as well. It's not the best, but it's enough to make a couple of sparks. The loud flickering yellow lights unevenly hit your cheeks with heat. You touch the torch, but holding it at an angle, letting the oil drip on the ground. Let's see where this tunnel leads. Hopefully I don't get the tunnel collapsing on me. Ooh, I like that. That's cute. Very hard to read, but very nice. A few moments later, you follow a fairly straight corridor. The timber supporting the ceiling is decaying. We're gonna get trapped in the mines. But you don't spot any signs of a collapse. The floor is littered with bones and rotting food, most likely dragged in here by wild beasts. But there are also signs of soot above you, the boot prints left on dry mud. You reach the crossroads and stop in place. There's no succumps in sight, so you have to casually carry the torch, or lose it for good. It won't last long anyways. The draft is hardly noticeable, so looking for an exit in the dark would be dangerous. What's that? I go outside. A simple magic strip should give me enough. Should I do this or should I not? Let's do it. I haven't used my magic yet. I haven't used it at all. I've just been hoarding it and doing nothing with it, even though I've been like dying. It's all good. You lean the torch against the wall, letting it mark the spot. Then draw both your axe and one of your older amulets, a pendant made of leather and a single dim pearl. The little spear is covered with cryptic engravings. But if there's any special meaning behind them, you've never been able to find out what it could be. Sounds like a mystery I want to solve. You bite into the strap, sense the pleasant, familiar warmth, and then press your blade with an open palm. After a minute of repeating this simple incantation, the pearl and your weapon start to glow. Oh, can I pick the flame? Blue's the strongest. Oh no, it's purple. No, it's blue. Blue is the strongest. No, it is actually purple. Whatever. Blue and purple are the strongest. It's a pyrite's life for me. Indeed. You can forever mine that stuff if you want, Wade. You can do blue. It spreads around with the sound of breaking ice, covering your hands and lips with a chilling aura. Oh, I did ice fire. Nice. I am insert that one person who does both fire and ice. I forgot their name. I'm not good. I remember everybody else's. It's fine. You hide the pendant back in your satchel, and then I go deeper. The road ahead is just like the one you just crossed. A human-carved straight corridor supported with beams. While the other paths are curved and narrow, the light comes from the exit, minutes away from here. I exit the tunnel. I look around. The remains of prey and fruit are rotting, but it gets sparser the deeper you enter the tunnel. The moist walls are shining as if they're made of an ore unknown to human tribes. You observe the dried trails, the ones left by boots leading towards both corridors. The path to your right also has markings left by hooves and wheels. Some of the fresher trails leading deeper in the tunnel resemble human souls but deformed, lacking skin on their toes. Zombies. Okay, so don't go to... Does it say which tunnel? No. Some of the fresher tunnels leading deeper into the mine. And then this one, the one to the left, no. Path to your right has hooves. Let's go right. The corridor is unlike the others, taller and rounder. With claw marks on the wall, it leads you to a chamber with a ceiling supported by a single beam. There's also an abandoned cart, the fence of an animal pen, and a few long sticks and planks. You take a glance at the new exit. It leads slightly upwards and looks like stairs. I search the room. You find no catches or boxes. The cart is empty. The one thing that draws your attention are the planks and logs themselves. They are in decent shape, flexible, though too moist to be worth carrying out of the cave. They could be turned into a new door or maybe a table. I climb the stairs. You flinch after the light touches the resting bone, but nothing tries to jump at you. You hear no scuffling feet. You step forwards and take a closer look at the remains of the massive creature. It used to be 2 times as big as your palfrey, 3 if you were counting the hind limbs. It resembles a bear, but its skull has no sharp teeth, and it's of a different shape. Take a close look at the skeleton. The ribs of the creature are as long as your own trunk, though the age makes them brittle. You observe the long legs, horse-like head, and massive stomach. If it's a skeleton, it won't have a stomach. Unless it's like... Okay. Okay. So... Okay. It's fine. You can't tell if you've ever seen such a beast alive, but surely not its trophy. A part that's uniquely shaped are the creature's claws. They could pierce 2 sides of your skull at once. As curved as a war pick and as heavy as an axe, the marks on the wall perfectly match them. While impressive, they're too old and awkward to be turned into tools. I leave the chamber. The air here is stiff. I leave the chamber. Again, there's just some movement from something in there. I guess I go forwards. Okay. You forge ahead for another few long minutes. No longer able to see the light from the exit, you'll need to stand on somebody's shoulders to touch the ceiling. So far you could ride through the tunnel without getting out of the saddle. The sound of a stream is reaching you from ahead. This time there are no side paths. I move forward. The stream has formed a wide puddle. You stab it in a few spots, but it turns out to only a finger or 2 deep. There's no sign of a bridge. I crouch and take a close look at the water. Hopefully no fish jumps out and bites me. It's clear, but the dark rocks and lack of light camouflages its soft sand-like bed. You find a few fish bones and other remains, but with every step you disturb the settlement, further clouding the water. The water flows from your right to the left. The trail is wide enough to follow, at least for a few steps, and so tall you can do so without crouching. I follow the water. You picked the ear mushrooms. What? Oh, nice. corridors become less spacious after a few steps, but you manage to take a good look around. Moving both with and against the flow, the wet walls are home to worms, mold, and what looks like pale spiders. We found the spiders. They exist. With only 6 legs. Among the commotion, you spot a cave ear sticking out of the wall. Cave ear. What is... I'm not familiar enough with cave ears. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a mushroom. Okay. A familiar, though unfriendly mushroom, the creamy color distracted by your light. You grab your knife and cut away what seems like the last bug-infected chunk. After wiping it with a linen sheet, you wash your hands. The cave ear is used by some fighters to enhance their sense in combat. You may want to take it to an alchemist. Have I picked it up then? Have I taken it? Do I have it in my possession then? I do. A cave ear, a poisonous mushroom that grows in moist caves. It is often used as an ingredient in various combat-enhancing substances. Okay, we're going to save because I keep forgetting to save. Okay, we return. I move forward. The door opens to your right, leading to a narrow corridor. You take a look further down the tunnel. A cave. In broke the timber, blocking the path forward. A cave-in broke the timber, blocking the path forward. I take a look at the cave-in. You push past a few rocks, making them roll on the floor, but the blockade is at least a few steps deep. It would take an entire team of diggers to get through, if it's possible at all. You climb up a bit and peek through a large hole close to the ceiling. There's a weak light coming from the distant end of the tunnel. I stay away. Path forward is blocked. I walk through the door. Can I listen at the door first and then walk through it? Because there might be somebody standing next to the door. I don't want to walk into them because I'm dying over here. It squeaks. The corridor resembles the interior of a fortress, with flat and regular walls and a ceiling so low you couldn't ride through it. You reach another much larger chamber, which seems to mimic the corridor style. I enter it. It sounds like a dungeon. I feel like I'm going to get myself killed. I just feel like I'm going to get myself killed because I'm already dying already. The spoiled food and moldy planks make you hold your breath. The chamber used to serve as a dining spot with tables, chairs, shelves, mugs, and barrels of drinks. We have fermented fruit and yeast in the building. But all that's left are worms and mustiness. You don't see the farthest wall until you bring your light closer. The open door leads to a new, natural cave. Another closed door is in the corner of the room, opposite the one you came through. I search the chamber. The place was abandoned in a hustle, but you found no signs of large creatures' bones or destruction. The wood gives way only to time. A few barrels still contain liquids, though you couldn't dare open them. Close to the exit leading to a cave, you found a hook with a simple iron key. You pick it up and it stains your hand with rust. I have rust poisoning now. Six-legged spiders, and those are the common ones apparently, which means in this world there must be spiders with 8 or 12 legs, even more than just 6, so it's going to be fun to find. The door gives way. The next room is also too large for your torch to reach all the corners at once. The empty shelves, chests, and spear rakes give you no promise of hidden treasure, but you also find a box with rusted nails. a cracked barrel in the corner, and a broken blade. You spend some time collecting these and other iron scraps. You can sell them in villages. In the room's corner, you noticed a wide sheet of mouldy fabric that covers a large part of the wall. Having no useful tools in hand, you struggle to dismantle the barrel and cut away all the bits of wood that are attached to the pieces of steel and iron. After a long time, you prepare a decent clampering stack for now. You move it to the dining chamber and leave it by the exit. I examine the curtain. It's divided in the center, allowing you to draw it. Behind, you find a tiny room, maybe 2 steps wide, 3 steps deep. It's silent, not as humid. The wall ahead isn't like the others. It's covered with red and purple bricks. I look for anything unusual. The walls to your left and right bear a few iron hooks that could have been used to hang cloaks, paintings, or trophies. The corners aren't too dusty, and there are no footprints on the floor. You inspect the brick wall further. In its center, at chest height, you spot a distinctive engraving. It is a winged hourglass, about a finger long. I lack a winged hourglass. Okay, so this is a secret room, so I leave the room. You find no surprises in the armory. I leave the room. Spoiled food. I walk through the adjacent door. The cave is so moist that the diggers place planks on the ground, serving as a now useless bridge through the puddles. The rocks shaped like icicles ominously hanging from the ceiling, in some spots merging with their own on the floor counterparts and forming hourglass-like columns. Ooh, are we gonna find the winged hourglass here? I don't think so. Okay, so I search the chamber. You leave the rotting planks and explore the cavern carefully, making the light dance on the drops and puddles, but you find nothing of use or value. Try to open the door. There's another door. Why is there another door? The door opens quietly. You return to the main tunnel. You could turn south again and see if there's anything you missed, but after a blink a few times, you realize there's a light at the opposite end of the tunnel. Far ahead, it's weak and flickering like a torch. That's suspicious. I move south, the direction I came from. Okay. You reach the other side of the cave and getting a good view of its side. You found a new door here, but it's a bit tilted, closed, and soggy. I try to open the door. If anything, I'm going to find undead in here, which is going to be not fun. Try to open the door, return to the crossroads. What time is it? Probably don't want to be out too much. Let's try to open the door. Won't budge. I'm too weak to destroy the door. Yeah, I am too weak to destroy the door. I try the key I found on the dining table. With a bit of wiggling, the padlock gives in, the door lets out a sigh, and you enter a humble cave that is turned into a storage room. Your light reveals crates, a pile of timber, a sack of rocks, that's a lot of rocks, and another of bricks. I search the chamber. You move the building materials aside, taking note of somewhat dried timber, but the first thing of use are the tools stored in one of the crates. The crude axe, hammers, chills, pickaxes, and digging bars are all old, and made of rocks, antlers, and bones. Though they are worthless, you move a few of them closer to the tunnel. If needed, you'll know where to find them. I walk outside. I go back to the crossroads. Ah, okay. I hide my own light. You put it on the ground in the entrance with the cave with the rocks. You'll pick it up if you need it. Let's have a looky. This might get me killed, but let's go have a look. Let me save in case it does. Save complete. Okay. Let's go have a look. I move closer towards the light. You put your own light away and sneak forward. You pay attention to the sounds and movements, but there's no crackling of a campfire, no wandering or chattering. You see a shape of a gate far in the distance. I look for anything unusual. Though you do so in almost complete darkness, you notice something blocking your boot. You crouch and touch a long cord stretching right above the ground, in a few spots holding pieces of wood and bone that was meant to make sound if disturbed. You cut it carefully, putting the remains of the trap on the floor. Hey, good thing I had a look at the floor. Trying to get close enough to see who's responsible for light. Slowly but surely you reach the edge of the light, but don't dare to get any closer. The distinctive shadows belong to unmoving human-like shadows. Okay, there's shadows on shadows that have no flesh around their necks and chests and only bones. You move back. There may be 3 undead there, if not more. You could prepare some surprises in the tunnel to slow them down or even weaken them. Who knows how easy it would be to outsmart them. I better speak with somebody who knows how to set traps. New entry, closed tunnel. You move to a safer position. Is that all the tunnels? I haven't gone north yet. Two hours before dusk. Your slow pace only makes the tunnel longer and more exhausting. Okay. I go back to the crossroads. Can I sleep in here? Is like sleeping possible, or do I have to go find a shelter? I think I have to go find a shelter, so let's go to Reginald. Reginald welcomes you with a nicker. Seek shelter. It's too dangerous to stay here. You can't sleep here, but there's still some time to travel to a safer spot. Find yourself closest shelter there. Yeah, these are the guys the dust foxes were the guys who almost killed me. I started a war with a bunch of foxes and almost died. It's the story of everything. Let's go to Foggy Lake. Once you get on the ground, the large forager points at the old raw hide you're carrying by your saddle. Looking for a blanket, friend? You'll find one, clean and all in creaks. This one will get you smelly soon. The grass in animal pens has managed to grow back a bit, which your mount is welcome to with drooping and relaxed ears. I approach the foragers. Once the man in the black fur hears your steps, he nudges his companion and nods towards you. They put away the old noose traps they were trying to fix, proper with hares and small birds. The tall one spreads his arms, thundering his loud welcome. A RoadWarden, eh? Well, I guess you're going to see each other a lot. I'm Ilan, and the shorty here is Taz. The man in black looks up and frowning. There's also the one-handed man you saw in the attic. Unlike the rest of the staff, he has an unkempt beard, worn clothes made of blue fabric, patching with a few scraps of flour sacks. He is looking down to examine the trap, but his shoulders are slow. Reggie, eyes absent. Elin doesn't introduce him. Rin, nice to meet you. Elin smiles. You were at Pelt of the North yet, friend? Were you at Pelt of the North yet, friend? He blushes. How is Dalit doing? I lie, I haven't been there yet. Is that the one with the yellow armor? She's well, seems to keep the whole crew together. That's her. A lively color, yellow, he smiles. But you catch a hint of envy in his voice. Better say hi to her for us. Her boss was looking for hard drinks and healing potions. I wish I could have helped her. He glances at his companion, who is currently observing a column of ants running alongside the walls. They were offering good prices, and she was really good at that dice, and told us about so many monsters. Tazzy adjusts his black cloak. Our traps won't fix themselves. What brings you to us? Erin frowns at this interruption, but says nothing. Oh, you guys can teach me how to do traps. Hold on while I see what Wade's talking about. How do you regenerate health? You have to sleep, but you have to have a full bar of hunger. So, like, you have to be full of, like, nutrition. So you have to have 4 out of 4, and I only have 2 out of 2, so I don't really keep so that's how you regenerate health. It's a bit of a long process. Zoinks, zombies, yeah. Well, we're gonna face undeads. Question if you guys can hear me do that. It should be fun. Being blinded. Okay. Oh, that's a bit better. I can actually talk again. You know this and that about traps. Could you teach me how to build them? How are you catching a hare or a scout? When you explain what you see in the tunnel, Ian looks around. Oh dear, he whispers. You better look for some big traps. Ask Alfred maybe. Maybe from the creeks. He's a real hunter. What's your plan? I could use some work. Tazzy nods and Elan's voice gets louder. Glad to hear that. There's hardly any fruit left around here, and even fewer mushrooms, so we're planning to do some bird catching. A hunt without killing. Maybe not today, but in 8 days, maybe a bit later. What do you say? Why do you need my help with birds? Don't you just let them walk into traps? How much do you pay? I mean, it may be a scary trip, but it won't take that long, Ian shrugs. Just show up here at noon or before it. We'll be back in a few hours. You'll get 5 dragons if 2 bird dies. That's a good price for an afternoon, eh? That's pretty good. Why do you need... Ian glances at the cords used for the snares. These won't do. We wanted to catch a runner this big. He raises his muscular arms and stops it maybe a foot above his head. And bring it here, alive. We want its meat for later. The man with one hand interrupts him. His voice is weak, but disdainful. Beasts ought to be dealt with, not tamed. Bonding with monsters only brings death. He has the accent of a city folk, same as yours. There's like 3 of them. Okay. Will bring us full bellies in the winter, squawks Tassie. What's your plan exactly? Erin grabs a rope and shakes it in front of you. We'll catch its neck. Your part will be keeping it from running. Don't hurt it, just make sure it's busy enough for us to surround it. We'll tether it to the wall for a day or 2, then take it to the creeks. Our tribe folk have enough space to look after it through autumn. Maybe they'll drop a few eggs, even though, if not, it's fresh food. Fresh food for the winter. Is there a problem with supplies in the creeks? They exchange looks. Maybe, Tassie admits, but not big enough to make us pay you more. How do I leave this conversation and go to sleep? Let me out of here. Well, you shouldn't need weapons for it, friend, but you may look for something worthwhile in the Howler's Den, Millionpoint's west. ゚Secret is all about trade. Not much for idle talk, but he sells things for all folk. Sounds really dangerous. That's why we want you to do the rough part, Tassie smirks. Which is foragers. A RoadWarden knows how to fight, eh? Well, not really. At least it's on its own without its flock. Oh, I wouldn't worry about it. Waves his hand just like his mother. The idiot will take care of it. The one-hand man starts to object, but a harsh shut-up from Taz makes him sigh. His shoulders shrug. Then goes on. He's lonely, just stumbling over his own feet on the trip, but doesn't what he needs when told to. And you know he won't steal it. He hates animals. Fine, I'll be back in 8 days, or sooner after that. Erin grins. Do so. We still need to prepare, and you better do so as well. But don't make us wait for long. It's not testing the bird's patience. Just come one day before afternoon. I'll walk away. Hold on. Oh, yes. There's a lot of reading in this one. For some reason, I've picked all the ones with a lot of reading. And I don't think it's gonna get any better, unfortunately. I enter the tavern. There's a strong scent of boiling fat coming from the stew in the cauldron. It could use a few more herbs. Boggy is resting on a chair, observing you with a single eye open. She welcomes you with a gentle nudge. I have some things I'm willing to part with. Different traders are interested in different goods. They will purchase only some of the things you have to sell, and their offers may vary. You show her what you have for sale, but she waves a hand. Now, love, come back with something I can sell at a profit, or maybe hang on a wall. You collect your belongings. Can I spend like a night under your roof? I have money for it. She approaches the window above the table and looks outside. Your beast won't make it easy for us, dear. She places a humble hand on the shutter. It's not a city inn. I don't cook for a smile. I don't work for noble folks. I allow folks to lie down there for free. She points at the beast fur with her broad chin. But that's about it. If your horse stays outside, it will lure beasts to us, but if we move it in here, it will leave its droppings on my floor. She gets annoyed even by the idea of it happening. If you want to rest here, love, by either to pay with a coin or some food rations, or to spend the night, keep your mount quiet. And clean after it in the morning, will you? She steps away. Okay, she wants money. Now you're talking, she grins. Well, I can serve you some of my cooking, not food rations, mind you, but you need what? We save for the winter seasons. Let's say you give me a dragon and in return I'll cook for you 4 times. You just need to ride up when you're hungry, then other than that, you won't take any stone or would you, are you? Seeing you shrug, she waves it off and heads towards the trapdoor. After a moment, she shows up with a sack that clinging after every step. I can sell you some scraps. She pulls out a couple of iron clamps, nails, and a broken steel blade, valuable trash. We found them whilst foraging. We don't have a furnace in the creeks, but you could sell these bits and pieces to somebody else. She observes you for a moment, then shrugs. So let's decide the price. Let me have a look at first. Okay, 4 meals bought in advance. You have 0 meals left. I'll set a bit of bobs, metal and steel. Let's get the food. You pay for meals in advance. She tilts and just looks at it. I'd like to eat. Hey, we're full. Let's go. I haven't figured out how to go to sleep yet, but at least we're now full. Sue stretches out her arms and grabs a bowl. Give me a moment. You sit down on a clear table, and after a moment, the keeper brings you a bowl of flat gruel, another bowl with fish soup, and a small boiled egg. It's already late, so you'll devour everything that's in front of you. She mentions you pay for another thing. Okay, can I go to sleep? My voice is kind of dying. It's fine. Everything's fine. Oh, it's like an hour and a half almost. You do a lot of reading in this game. Stay hydrated. Yeah. I know. It's gonna keep going. I've got some water with me though. I would have brewed up some coffee, but I decided not to do it tonight. I think I'm already awake. Okay, so I guess I go to sleep and hope my health comes back. Sleeping in the main hall, sleeping in the attic, I get things for it. So the bear fur will be a fine sleep for you. Your horse will disturb you. Rest in the morning, you'll have to clean after it. I lose health, so I gain that, I lose that, I lose that, which I don't have any of it. But I gain health from sleeping in the attic, and I gain magicka as well, but I still lose food stuff. And I also lose cleanliness, which I don't have any of it. So I haven't bought anything to wash myself with. Let's do this. I'll just have to sell stuff and things. Why is this still up? The monstrous shouts wake you up. The night is bright, and from the windows of the tavern you have a good look at the yard. A few draglings are exploring the courtyard, knocking over wooden tools with their tails, putting their noses into buckets and under the stairs. You count 5 of them so far, but you can't see the entire area at once. One of them spots you look, moves closer. Still, it doesn't try to climb to the door. Maybe it's experienced enough to know it won't get through. I go back to sleep with an axe in my hand. I close the shutter slowly. Slowly look at them and close the shutter. Listening to the grunts of the annoying Reginald makes you feel uneasy. At least the furs covering the floor are helping you relax. You don't even notice when it's morning, and the smell coming from the lower floor is not inviting. At least it's not you who has to take care of it. He turns to you and waits for you to speak. Any interesting rumors? She nods. Don't give me a jump scare. It's all good. I know this and that. Which place? What can you tell me about? I didn't think about this, so I have to type it. Okay, hold on. Old tunnel. There's nothing to find there, dear. The seaside entrance was sealed 2 years ago. She paused, then pretends to wipe her forehead. Or maybe it was 3. Time doesn't wait. You encourage her to go on. Other than the tunnels, there is a few chambers there, some made for beasts, others by folk of Galil rocks. The guards need a place to stay, and ways to get rid of the bears and such. Chambers for sleep and food to store supplies. Loom, the dagger from rocks, used to know all about those chambers. Loom from rocks knows about them. So she probably knows about the hourglass with the wings. You ask anything unusual that could be left by the previous dwellers, but she frowns. Possessed by a adventurous spirit, love? No, I doubt you'll find any treasure, even if you had lanterns with you. Just watch out for the pointy rocks hanging from the ceiling. They're brittle, but heavy enough to crush your skull. Thanks. Okay, I have enough magicka, so I have more health, and I'm kind of, you should take a break. Okay, thank you. I'm still very dirty. It's fine, we're gonna... Can I leave? Time for me to go. Reginald's drawing some fresh grass. I leave. I go down here, so this is west, so we go west. It takes me 3 hours and 30 minutes. We go down to this one. All the way back down again. I guess this was west, so yeah, this doesn't help me. This is south. Okay, south, west. So I went south. It doesn't make sense. Which direction was I supposed to go? Because I was supposed to go west. What's my journal say? Okay, so check on old Pagus. The Foggy, the innkeeper of the northern crossroads, is wondering why the people have stopped visiting her place of trade. What is that? I can find the village riding west of the western crossroads amongst some mountains. Okay, save and return. Yes. So west of the western crossroads. Southern is down, west is this way. Let's guess. You cross a clear, shallow yet wide creek that runs south. And then, following the uphill path squeezing between the hills and the lush forest, you spend a good couple of minutes passing a hunting meadow, filled with a dozen, maybe 100 cut-down trees, now overgrown by branches and grass. You can't think of another time when you've seen a clearing such a size. It seemed dangerous. If this goes on, the animals will join forces and strike down whoever's front. Once the clearing ends and turns into a corridor of trees and hills, you stop your horse. There's a monster in the middle of the road. Yay. You reaching out with its long arms to grab and devour fruits, leaves from a tree, throws and chewing them without hesitation. It's standing on its hind legs and leaning on a back tail. Sounds like a kangaroo. But there isn't much hair on its grey skin. You see its impressive muscles. The beast is 3 times the size of a human. While each move it makes is slow, its long claws, with the ease with which it breaks one of the branches, makes you think a single swing would be enough for it to pierce your jacket, or just as likely would simply break your bones and send you into the air. Like most people, I need another drink of water. This is not ending up well. Yes, purely indeed. Still. Okay, we try. Where was that to? Here it is. Like most people, you know quite a bit about peddlers. Once they get used to an unfenced farm or a forest garden, getting rid of them can be a huge issue. There aren't any blades able to cut through their thick skin and bones, and a single mistake may put them into a furious charge, engaging them to look for human dwellings, which they can tear down in rage. The beast doesn't give you much as a glance, but also doesn't move away. The best you can hope for is that it's going to walk away on its own, maybe tomorrow, maybe later. Facing it in a fight would end up badly. I return to the crossroads. Where else can I go? Because that's the direction I have to wait. Let's go... Let's go up this way. The detour is not as smooth as main roads. A wagon can make it through, but even so, you have to squeeze between some narrow corridors, hoping no beast is going to jump at you from a ledge. You walk, leading your mount, with an axe in your hand. In the middle of the road, after reaching one of the highest hills, you take a glance ahead. Even from here, you see the sun reflecting from the ocean, but there's also a pillar of smoke coming from the distant west. There may be a volcano somewhere behind the horizon, but you can't tell if it's part of the peninsula, or maybe a yet stranger land. Once you get to the other side of the mountain, you find the northern entrance to the tunnel, blocked by a large bronze gate, so tall and wide you're not sure if it's something you could open with your muscles alone. There's a keyhole as well, as large as your hand. There's also zombies on the other side of it. I'm not surprised no soul tried to open the doors. There's somebody... What did that do? Oh, I moved. You have a question for me. Hold on a minute. I see your question. I also need to grab this. who gave me another like. Thank you. I didn't see that. Thank you. Well, I did just see it, so I guess I have seen it. Have you heard of the new horse riding game, The Legend of Q&A? Yes, I have. I've been following multiple horse games for a while. There's a new one that came out. I forgot the name. Something hooves. Something hay. Probably something with a bay on the end as well. But there's a demo for that one that I want to check out later on. It looks interesting. It's a pixel style, so something like this. But it's more on the management side. There's another one for medieval simulator as well with horses. So there's that one, which is about, well, pretty much managing the horses, trading them, getting money, and training more of them. Yes, I've heard about the Legend of Q&A and most of the happenings that are going on in that area. I'm not completely sure about it quite yet. So I'm just watching it for a little bit, because it would be an investment to try and do that one. And it also doesn't really have a story, so it's a fetch quest. It's a fetch quest world, so you're essentially running from one section to another section. So you're going from point A or point B to point A. It's beautiful landscapes, lovely mounts, but other than that, it's literally you're running from one point to another, and it doesn't actually have much storyline to it, or I won't be able to hear about people in the world. Like, I would like to have it where you would be able to deliver the messages, but also talk to the different townsfolk and kind of learn, kind of like RoadWarden, learn what are they doing, what's their lives like in this world. So it's not interesting me, the Legend of Q&A, but I have heard about it. It's like there's another one as well, Equinox Homecoming. I was watching that one for a bit in early access, and it doesn't look good, so I'll just keep watching it. But there is a lot more horse games coming out recently. A lot of which that I'll just have to keep watching, unfortunately, because they can go downhill pretty quickly, sadly. It is a genre lacking of good experiences. Most people focus on the aesthetics of the world and the horses, so there's actually not a lot of good ones out there. That's why people say Red Dead and that series is a horse game. And some people even say Crimson Desert is a horse game now. So Fallout with horses. I don't know. I can't compare Fallout to it because I don't remember the era it's set in, but it's set in America before they put the train system in. So it would have been quite early on, somewhere around the 18. Anyway, I'll find more information about that. Oops, a daisy pinged. I don't know much about Fallout though. Never was interested in it. I enjoy watching people do it, like Kim and such. I enjoy that, but doing it myself is not preferred due to all the zombies and everything. I don't like them. Okay. I'll let you process that and I'll get on reading again. Oh, I blinded myself, it's all good. You get a good look at the village from a distant hill. It's torn between taming the craze and succumbing to its whims. The grey boulders are like the rotting tooth of a giant, sprinkled around by an ancient spirit. The carved cave mouths are covered with wooden doors, and there are only a few windows. You can only imagine how dark and cold the gutted rooms have to be. The buildings and walls, made of logs or stone bricks, must be much younger than the caves. The impressive whitewash kept standing on the building of the hill in the west could just as well have been built in the city. Smoke rises from both sides of the river. You see many busy souls as they go about moving tools, food, and timber over the bridge. Your arrival at the east gate causes curious glances, but the only person who approaches you is a man, sitting at a table, discussing something with a few elders. He carries a crossbow on his back and a rusted longsword at his side, but he doesn't reach them. Must be a guard. I dismount. The man has to be older than 40. He wears an elegant blue and green linen tunic, but no armor. His eyes are yellowish, like seaweed that has seen through a sunbeam. That's an interesting way to put it. His long grey hair is tied in a ponytail, so he's what's his name? I forgot his name as soon as I was about to mention him. Ponytail. What is your name go? It's gone now. Geralt. He's the Witcher guy. He exactly reminds me of him. Probably because the hair. It's the only reason is the hair. Fallout is basically fetch quest too. Yeah. But at least with Fallout you can still learn the story, like in the bits and pieces that you can pick up. You can learn what happened, what's going on, what state the world's in, and kind of pick up what everybody else is or how they're dealing with that. So there is still story to it, which is nice in that sort of like way. There are ghouls, but no zombies. They look like zombies. They're close enough to be a zombie. They're all undead. Everybody's undead, it's fine. They look like zombies. I thought they were zombies the first time I saw them, because they looked like them. And that was... I don't know how long ago that was. Well, thanks for streaming today. It's been a bit. Oh good. Oh good. I'm happy to be back doing it again because it was missing it. It was sad I had to cancel last week's because I was just too tired to do it. So it's like I'm happy to be back. It's nice to talk to you. And it's nice to talk to Dingo as well, who came in. Geralt needs a haircut. He does. He needs a redemption arc for his haircut. We need to get... Kim needs to log back online and just to give Geralt a haircut. He needs that redemption arc for his haircut. Ooh, I mean, laid rocks. Let's go. Okay. And his beard is trimmed half a finger of length. A few large cysts make him look sickly, but his powerful and tremendous voice adds to his strength and confidence. Cheers, stranger, you've reached Gal Rocks. You did. He mouths it. He notices your mount, then looks at the path behind you. I see no caravan from here. Aren't they coming? He suddenly meets your eyes, and his tones get even harsher. Or are you just here to idle about? Okay, I'm apparently ignoring him. You have to get used to some of the local words, phrases that you only hear coming from the mouths of the older city folk. There are various similarities to the tongue of Halavan, and only make those difficulties more discriminating. Don't worry, friend, I have things to do and won't bother anybody. Actually, I will be bothering people because I have things to do with people that exist here. I really know. I'll just show you some tricks and be on my way. You know, second yoke in your I'm a RoadWarden. I'm here to solve problems, not cause them. Right now it's you who's wasting my time. I have things to do. Trust me, I have enough problems of my own not to seek new ones. Okay, let's do the first one, friendly. Don't worry, friend, I have things to do and won't bother anyone. Even though I will be bothering people. A lot of people. Oh, nice. He looks at you. He looks at my appearance, which is currently, people stay away from you. You smell of sweat and dirt, and your clothes are torn and... It's my appearance right now. It's a very nice appearance. He takes a step closer and examines your appearance, until he raises his chin with his reluctancy. And you... who are you, a vagabond? If you're not part of a caravan, I'm not letting you in. Neither here... He points behind him, or there. He points towards the western gate. I introduce myself. Another RoadWarden. Oh, are all them parents in the south too dumb to teach the kids how to keep their fingers in their own pots? He shakes his head with an exasperating motion, looks at the elders at the table. A RoadWarden, see that? Trying to cut the conversation short, you tell Reginald to follow you inside, but you stopped right away. Leave it by the walls until it's nightfall. Right, we aren't cleaning our roads after any drifters, bards, or adventurers. He speaks with a growing disgust. Don't worry, we'll keep an eye on it. You turned your horse to a stem of a shrub, and the man nods with approval and then turns away. I guess we're going to go bother him. He stops in place and glances to your boots. Right, we fish, we salt fish, we sell fish. Our brave ones trade barrels for whatever we can get at other villages. But he shrugs. Not much else to it. You see, life here is slow. Without another word, he returns to the group of elders, where he helps one of them remove bones from their meals. You go to... Okay, I look for somebody. Luna? Can I just travel away from you? Because I don't think they're in this place. Although, what was I needing this place for? I thought I had to travel here. Oh, it's Pegasus and the road's blocked, so I can't go there. I have to go to the creeks. These guys. Oh, here it is. Gal Rocks. So I have to ask them about the band of mercenaries. Let's go. Huh? Them's fighting words. They are indeed. You said your mother smells of elderberry. Oh dear. It's okay. The guard you meet when you first arrive at the village is leaning against the wall, observing both the gate and your mount. Whenever Reginald snorts, the gatekeeper reaches for an axe. You think Reginald is a monster. He sighs when he notices your glare. What? Have you been bothered by bandits in recent seasons? And what do you mean, bandits? That useless group of soldiers already facing themselves half a year ago? Haven't you heard in Halvan? They killed and got killed, he shrugs. As if there's anything more to add, but you try to push him harder, sharing some of the gathered rumors. Glanna group, you're wrong. She's from here. She wouldn't bother us, nor our neighbors. Just one of the lost free folk. Can't force herself to come back here after all. The events that can't be changed now. She's just hunting for treasure in the ruins and trading. That's where she gets her stuff and coins. Counted someone dead in the tunnel. Right. They almost got my wife, they did. When she tried to check out the locked passage. We stay away from there, but talk to our digger. She's there with her toys. He steps away from the wall and looks at the nearest table, where the elderly woman is putting together a humble statue from wooden building blocks. Okay, I don't really have anybody. So these guys say that she's just a treasure hunter. She is also from there, so I guess we go, I don't know, we're looking for the creeks, and we're looking for white marshes. And Old Pegasus, but Old Pegasus' path is blocked and I can't go to it. Okay, it is 5 hours from dusk. Let's move on this way, I guess. Oh, I'm at the ocean. The roar of the sea oh, I got an achievement. The coast reached the sea. Nice. The roar of the sea reaches you first, then the cold winds and the light. There are hardly any shrubs nearby as you ride downhill towards the white and golden beach. The sunbeams hit you with full force. Nice. No UV coverage. The sea here is not like the ones from Halvan Port. The harbour and waters most people see during their busy days are full of life. Ships, warehouses, traders, dockers, and of course the ゚Secret and the barrier island that provides the city with its lagoon, but also serves as a home for the dozens of species of birds, monkeys, and rodents. For most people, the sea is never quiet. But if one travels to the ゚Secret and looks west, or embarks on a boat, Sickle, and looks west and embarks on a boat and sails away, there's yet another view, a very different one. The never-ending blue, the emptiness, the humming waves, the monsters swimming to the surface, just to take a breath. Not even interested in the wooden vessels. Many say that if one jumps off a ship with a heavy stone, he will drown before they touch the seabed. However, the water can't be separated from the rocks and cut through it. Like a swarm of mushrooms in a dark forest, their shape and size vary, but it's their number that makes them unusual. If you were to name each one, you'd have to make up at least half of the names. There's no doubt where the name Gal Rocks comes from, and the stones piercing through the surface of the water are shaped like beast fangs. as if they're asking the ships to dare and test their strength. Where it's possible, I keep to the greener parts of the beach. Sand is bad for the horse's hooves, which is very true. How bad? You follow the sharp turn to the right. The road remains broad enough for carriage. Carts, wagons, and avoiding the sand, letting Reginald trot without disturbances. The grasses to the east and the south are short. Hardly any shrubs have managed to oppose the harsh winds. The human activity you witness is intense. A large barge is resting on the river, immobilized by ropes and wooden posts, as you see a few people foraging at the beach in the grasses. Even more people, most of them without wrinkles, are gathered at the pier, where they clean and fix their boats and nets, and talk about their plans for the evening. You reach the end of the beaten path, getting to the stone-made pier, just next to a small dolman-shaped shed. Only the doors seem to be fairly new, and you doubt that both of the structures have been repaired many times in the past, crumbling after the touch of the waves. Let's go ask the fisherman. You approach the group of workers standing in front of the shed. Poltos is here, one of them tells you. Points at the tallest man dressed in an undyed wool and linen. He's discussing something with a group of workers, but as you hear in his... Sorry, that wasn't somebody speaking. As you hear in his direction, he nods for you to join him on the side. His outfit is heavy, appropriate for somebody who spends long hours under the hits of cold onshore winds. The massive leather boots, thick tunic and pants, and the heavy cloak, now held under his arm, makes you wonder if he's able to swim. Probably not. Like most sea folk, he has long limbs and no facial hair, and ears so flat they are hardly noticeable. His neck draws your eyes. It's covered with marks left by the burning suckers of the sea monsters, as wide as your finger is long. Below these scars he's wearing a pendant made of a fist-sized black beak. He speaks first with a strong and confident voice of a young man, no older than 25. My voice is slowly changing, that's great. We don't really sell any catch on... We don't really... There's too many guys. We don't really sell any catch on our own. Maybe ask our smokers or the cook. That's fine, I'm hoping to speak with you. And who are you, exactly? After I introduce myself, the man raises a corner of his mouth in an angry grimace. I won't have much to tell you, RoadWarden. Like my neighbors, he looks at the nearest fishermen. I struggle with day-to-day living, and I do not adventures, and even less about outsiders' schemes. It started. Drat, I need to bring more water with me. Do you have any work for me? Work? What do you know about fishing? You mentioned the docks in Halban, but after a few questions about the fishing nets... Oh, sorry. You mentioned the docks of Haliban, but after a few questions about the fishing nets, boats, winds, it's clear you don't impress it in this conversation. Teaching one how to work with us takes time, effort, and rescuing those who fall overboard You aren't a kid of ours, so if anything, it would be you who would be paying us for sharing our 4 bears and have mastered. You explain that you can fight better than most, and that gives him an idea. Our guard stays at the village, so we always move in groups and waste time securing the beach from harpies and sirens. Those were the fish that jumped up at me. We could put 3 more souls on the boat and keep you on the beach. You'd guard those not fishing with nets. What's in it for me? How much do you want, stranger? He responds carefully. You spend a few minutes discussing the details. Right, you'll get a meal and 2 coins for a peaceful day. And another for putting your life at risk, he summarizes. But you must be at the beach soon after dawn, and while we prepare our boats, and have enough strength to convince me you'll be more of a help than a bother. It's too late right now. What time is it? Oh, dawn, okay. See you later. Can I give myself a bath, finally? Leave the ocean. The water is freezing, and after you've done, sand makes you wait for a while before you dry enough to put your clothes back on. That's not what I had in mind, but okay. The unpleasant touch of sand covering your skin while you travel with it. I pack my things. You lead Reginald back to the main road. No, Rel, do you have horses? No. No pets. Other than the one that you can hear scratching around sometimes. Unfortunately. No horses IRL. Nothing to kind of suggest for that. I don't even know where the horse thing came about. I have no clue where that came about from. But no horses. Never been on a horse before. That's okay. Okay. I think we're south of the Foggy. Yeah, we're near the statue of a woman made of stone. She's holding a large staff. It's currently here. There's fishing and a well, so I can fill up water. Well, 20 more minutes. We'll see where this gets us. The air is flat. No. The air is fresh, just as it was in the tavern. The torch lights the road, shrubs blocked only by the single willow, wild and untamed. You're by a lake, too large for you to see its other banks, but the local soil isn't too fertile. There are only a few trees on the horizon, while the straggling bushes and grass fight with the layers of rocks. In the south, you see uninviting hills cut with some tiresome roads. A grey rabbit is cleaning its fur near the brook, but the sound of the hooves makes it hop towards the nearest shrub. Right after it shrinks into leaves, you hear it squeal, cutting off quickly. Whatever the hunter was, it leaves behind only the rustling of the thicket and a trail of blood. You wait for a long minute with a hand on your axe, but the creature doesn't return. You relax a bit, then turn towards the stone statue of a young woman. I ride a bit closer to it. Such a momentum would be a better fit for a temple or a rich city's folk house. Here, without any cover, it's already losing its shape from the rain and dust. Chunks of the face and hair have already broken off. It has detailed eyes and human-like proportions. Which ones? And the clothes are like fabric petrified by a spell. The statue carries the unusual traveling equipment, a walking staff, a gabison, simple pants, and now covered with leaves. It's a shame to see it dilapidating or decaying. I take a look at the pair of sale. Maybe someone has left a valuable offering there. Oh, I have shelter option. You dismount and approach the branches covering the legs and the pedestal. You see some old wooden boughs as well as rocks. Everybody gives rocks. You try to push the leaves away, but their stems are thick and healthy, covered with bugs and spiderwebs. Until you remove the thicket, you won't be able to see if there's anything worth stealing. Thankfully, there is no thorns, and the touch of the leaf doesn't make your fingers itch. I can go this way, or I can go that way. Or I can go back to the inn and I can end the stream, because I'm pretty sure we're coming up to the mark for it. Oh dear. Let's travel a little further, because we've still got 2 hours left. So let's keep going down this way. Got 1 hour and 30 minutes. The valley is flanked by hills to the west of the grasslands and the bushes blending into the horizon, turning into another part of the forest. The southern hills are grey and tall, with fortress-like rocks, faces, and crowns of camos. The northern ones have countless sand-coloured rocks, lumped together like piles of rubble and clay, bearing hardly any soil or weeds. The plants here are struggling. The grass is short and yellowish, sometimes died out. The bushes have silver leaves, that's not good. Like many plants from sunny areas, the mushrooms can't hide in the shadows, but as you approach one, you see it's growing from the remains of a dead bird. While others are covering old branches with other plants, they won't last much longer. Okay. I don't like how I have to reload it every time I want to read your message. It's okay. You know I have never scoped to anyone and shot them IRL. I guess it's why we play these games. Yes. Although I'm not really to play it for the horses. What drew me to, I guess, Star Stable originally, since that's the current one that's earning me the name of a horse person, is I was drawn because of the story and the lore of the world, and I wanted to find out more about it. And unfortunately, I've discovered it's not finished, so, which is sad, but nothing much I can do. The horses are an added bonus. I'm much more comfortable with a motorbike or a skateboard, so this is why I was annoyed at Jawa, who was messing up that motorbike in, I believe it was last week. I was annoyed at him doing that. Also, welcome in. I see another soul joining us. It would be easy to spot any large beasts around. You have to squint to spot the first threatening creature, a runner. It's in the far east, close to the hills, though it's completely ignoring you and walking around and observing the grass. You looking for its next prey. You don't have to worry about it for now. The boot prints on the road as well as in the short grass, fresher even on the western roads. Since many mushrooms were cut away with a knife, you notice some berries on the shrubs. You conclude it's a foraging spot for people from the north, though there doesn't seem to be much food left. They must have all picked it all for winter. There's also no prints going further. Try to forage for a bit. You let Reginald keep itself busy while you walk around, looking for anything edible. It takes a fair bit of time. You don't plan to carry around raw mushrooms and bugs, and wild veggies need to be washed before you put them in your bag. Can I put them in a sack and then put the sack in the bag? Would that work? Or is it just not letting me do that? I don't think I can do that. That's fine. You finally find a few handfuls of plants, fruits, and nuts. Next time, however, is not going to be so easy, especially since the runner, a bird both taller and wider than you, observes you carefully, at first from a distance, then circling around you. After half an hour, you hear its piercing screech as the creature runs at you. Yay, we're being chased by a bird again. Shaking a beak larger than your head, you throw everything into the sack and get into the saddle. I should avoid this beast while the thing is flying around. I should get out of here and go to here. Okay. The screeching birds are sitting on the logs of the walls, some of them observing you. The group doesn't cease its squabbling. You squat a baited claptrap near the walls. I sleep. That's a bummer. Yeah. It's okay. It's the reason why I'm doing it nice and slowly is because it's not finished yet. So, as soon as we get to the end of it, I will move on to something else and then go back to it once there's like a few more. Once they've added a few more to the world. So it's okay. It means I can add some stuff in and make it easier for me to get through everything that I need to get through. So I don't mind. There's also leaves room for theories to come up, which are very interesting. The sound of rain wakes you up briefly. Before you return to sleep, you think about your plans. Riding in the mud is difficult. Reginald will have a rough time, especially on unpaved grounds. Maybe a good day to take a break at the inn. What? I'm going to spend an entire day inside doing nothing. I can't do that. I'll go nuts. Like most people, you wake in the middle of almost every night. Before your second sleep comes, you spend an hour or two taking care of your belongings, shield, and soul. Some people spend this time with their families, friends, or lovers, but your routine is different. If you didn't have to take care of these essential tasks, I stretch my muscles out for a bit. I spend some time outside observing the stars and listening to them. This feels dangerous. I check on Reginald. Let's go check on Reginald. Listening to the grunts of the annoyed Reginald makes you feel uneasy. At least the fur covering the floor are helping you relax. You don't even notice when it's already morning. And while the smell coming from the lower floor is not inviting, at least it's not you who has to take care of it. Okay. Hi Mira, welcome in. Welcome in and good morning. I think it's morning. Should be morning. And thank you for the like, by the way. Welcome in. If you put the sack in the bag, it will open a portal to a negative plane and everything that we know will be sucked down into a black hole. So don't do that. Okay. Duly noted, I will not put a sack in another bag. We will keep them all separated. I heard there were some bandits in the north. She makes an annoying grimace. How can I tell you, dear? You know how it goes. Lost souls need a new path after an awfulness finds them, but the years goes by and it doesn't get any easier. One day they take a pile of firewood, another one takes some bread and clothes. After they start hurting folks, there's no turning back, even if they're not all cruel. You ask her some more, but she's reluctant to give you straightforward answers. You don't have to worry about Glau's band. They hunt. Sometimes they take this and that, scavenging after the folk. They get jumped by beasts, but she never tried to threaten my place. You're safe here, and why would they try and bother a RoadWarden? She might be right. Some bands are just desperate. She gestures for you to go on. Well, I'm like hungry. Right? Eat food. Good. We need to do quests, so map. Oh, I have to leave, don't I? Time for me to go. Let's leave. Okay, Reginald is observing the movement on the lake. Don't get bitten, please. What's the time? Oh dear. Okay. Let's see. Travel. So I'm still trying to find muddy roads slows you down. So everything. That's not where I wanted to go. Oh, I can go here. Hold on, we go here. The path is clear in a way. The peddler is nowhere in sight, but the road is covered with leaves and broken branches. The only fruit-bearing trees are growing right on the side of the road, surely planted by humans. There's plenty of fruit and leaves, and the monster may chew on, so it may return any day now. If it craves what is this place has to offer so much, I should go get rid of its food. Might be a troublesome task. I'd like to be able to gather some fruit for myself. Let's go get some food. You prepare all your tools, especially your thick protective gloves, and tether Reginald to one of the younger trees. It's not an easy task. You spend about 2 hours cutting down twigs, shaking off fruit from the thin branches, picking them up by hand, or hitting them with a stick. Your rope helps you stay secure, and the first few minutes of climbing is closer to fun than work, but the longer it takes, the more tired you become. You take a break to eat a couple of the plums and apples, but the best ones you save for later, covering them in a blanket and putting them on the very top of your bundle. You're standing on a carpet of greens, browns, reds, purples. You drag some of the thicket branches to the side to make riding further easier, but the earthworms are going to have a feast. There's a fish in the lake? No, there isn't. No, there is no fish in the lake. We're not gonna bring the fish back. The fish can stay wherever it's sleeping. The corridor of pruned trees leads you to a steep ascent. Behind them grows a peaceful meadow, filled with flowers and crickets and a humming of a waterfall. On the beaten path you spot no footprints or wheel tracks, but there's smoke on the horizon. Something's burning. The pastures and fields are spread over an unnatural plateau. The humans must have been calving in the hills for generations, covering it with soil brought here in buckets and wagons. Amongst the weeds and tall grass you spot rotting tools and tunics. The pasture is overgrown in some of the fields. Some of them the oats are ready to harvest. Something is wrong. I prepare my axe. The locked gate is taller than a troll, and you can't imagine climbing up the massive wall. For a moment you follow the path to the edge of the cliff. The ocean is roaring more than a few 100 feet below you. You spot no one looking at you from the watchtower, no patrol of archers. The wall is occupied by black and blue birds of various types. You return to the gate and focus on the sound. There are a few screaming innexes, and a young boy is crying. I knock on the gate with the hilt of my weapon. Thumping scares away the birds. They carol loudly, flapping wings. Maybe after a minute you hear a bronze plate scratching against the wood as somebody approaches a peephole. The strict female voice stops you from moving further. Traveller, old Pagus is secreting, for it has been smitten by the deadly plague. Begone before you get sick. Oh. Do you need any help from the new RoadWarden? I introduced myself. We can't welcome you with bread nor meat. You look into the young brown eyes that matches the skin of a dark-haired owner. While the woman looks like a southerner, she has a thick local accent. She follows you curiously, without blinking, like a fighter awaiting a strike. You partner with a dozen souls already. The monks in the north are the masters of spells and potions, guided by the rites themselves. Yet even they can't help us. You hear more footsteps gathering near the entrance, and a weak voice of an elder chips in. May them be blessed, for they look after our ill. The woman continues, You won't find shelter here. We ought not drown other tribes with us, such is our duty. A pause. Even if they won't show us such kindness. I have a few questions. Ask, but there's not much we can do for you. We see no one, we travel nowhere. We're born in this hill and we'll die here. After a few breaths, her eyes got kinder. I'm Tara. If you bring any news, I'll take them to our council. Okay. I'm looking at the time right now. What I might do is I might leave it here. And we might continue this for next time because I am tired. So let's actually save rather than quick save, which the thing is defaulted to do. So next time, I'll probably forget this, so I'll write it down somewhere. But next time what I'll do is we're at Old Pegasus, I'll figure out what's wrong here, see what I can help with. I will travel, see what that ends up with. So it's Old Pegasus next week. Okay. But that's going to be it for this one. I'm out of water. My throat is not ending up really well. I haven't switched back my voice yet. Hold on. Okay. I think that's all I can manage for now, because my voice is pretty dead. We're gonna leave it at that. Yeah. Thank you for coming in and chatting with me, Wade. It's always nice to see you. I hope you have a good rest of your day and you're able to come and hang out with Kim and Jaywar. Get your daily dose of Jaywar in before he leaves. Yeah. Thank you for coming in, Dingo, as well. It was nice to see you again. And I hope you have a good rest of your night, because it's nighttime for you right now. And Mira as well, thank you for coming in. It's nice seeing you. And to the other person who's still lurking right now, I'm not sure who they are. Yeah, thank you guys for coming and watching. And we'll find out what's the sickness next week. And then we will hopefully earn some money, fingers crossed. And not die, also fingers crossed. Okay. That's it for now then. How do I escape? How do I run away? I figured it out, it's all good. There you go. It is indeed. It is a lot of reading. I can probably turn down the outro music. Here it is. It's a lot of reading, but it is very fun, and I have enjoyed it. We've been going for 2 hours, which I think is going to be a limit, though, for this time. You too.